whatever. Yeah.
And what do you actually, at this college, and you're probably going to get in this in presentation, maybe I'm jumping the gun, but what do you teach here?
We teach 27 different vocational qualifications, so
Lots.
a lot, yeah.
And would the kids then, by where they leave it about, let's say they're not adult school learners,
Yeah.
let's say they're regular kids, they would leave here at about age 18?
18, 19, yeah.
And would they have then some type of certificate where they could walk out the door? It's really school to career, so they could actually
Yeah.
go to work in the...
Yeah, if you are, for example, you get the qualification to be a car mechanic.
Right.
So you can go and work at a garage and be a car mechanic.
Wow.
You can be a plumber. You can be a hairdresser.
Do these pay fairly good?
Oh, the plumbers are really well paid,
Uh-huh. Electricians?
especially, yes.
So these are jobs that you could make maybe as much as if you went to the university.
Much more.
Much more.
Especially if you count that you graduate from here when you're 18. And you can be a plumber.
Right.
Instead of if you have, let's say, a doctor's medical doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You've done the matriculation examination, you got in maybe on the first round to university, most probably on the second or third. So when you graduate, you are maybe 26, 27.
Right.
So this guy has already been earning for 10 years. So
Just offhand, what does a basic plumber make here about an hour? Euros?
if they come to my house, it's closer to 100 euros
Or what?
of, coming in and fixing something.
Oh, really?
I have never seen a plumber coming in with a bill less than 100 euros.
Wow. Yeah. And there's work out there.
Yeah.
Wow. Are they getting enough? Are the vocational schools giving enough of the vocational? Are they filling the gap out there for jobs? Or are they still having to bring in people from other places to fill the gap?
We
Here in
do
Finland.
have quite a lot of workers from Estonia and Russia,
Right.
and so we don't educate enough, I think, or maybe we do, but then they might change jobs after all because to go further.
Let me ask you this. In the U.S., another unfortunate thing, and I see this at my own school, but vocational training is almost null and void. There's just little tidbits, but there's nothing of any, substantive like what you have here. A real program. With that said, the basic, I think the basic doctrine in the U.S. system is we tell all our kids they're going to go to college, knowing that most of them will not. But we never tell them that. We just tell them you're all going to go to college. That's the whole push. College, 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 college. We never talk about other options. And most kids won't do that. And then they're left with no skills. And then if they do go, they have to go to maybe a program, for example, a cosmetology school in the U.S. would run around $25,000. So they're saddled with an enormous amount of debt. An auto mechanic, a school was about $50,000.
Yeah.
So here in Finland, do they believe all kids are going to go to college? Or is that
No.
why they designed?
No. Yeah, of course we always aim that it's only the entry level in a way. But it's around 10% that go to further studies from vocational qualifications straight away. They go to universities or universities of applied sciences.
From the vocational school?
From the vocational schools. But the great thing of our system is that these qualifications are national qualifications. There is a national core curriculum for each of the study programs. It's not, randomly selected things that what you learn in the college.
Right.
But there are the key objectives and the skills have to be demonstrated on all the key elements of the schooling. So that's the crucial and different thing from quite a few countries, that they are the same, the qualifications are same in each of Finnish colleges.
Is the system here then, the vocational program, is it somewhat it's a dual program system, so as the kids are working here, learning the skill, are they also interning at the same time? That kind of German model type
it's
of?
not, no. Well, we are going towards the German model, but the German model is the apprenticeship training. So they have the contract with the workplace
That's right.
to work and study, and they are paid for the whole time of studying. Our model is changing and evolving, so now we talk about this learning contract with the companies. So there is a written contract with the student and the company, but there is no money involved. But there are objectives of the learning done at the work placements. And it's evaluated at the work placement how well they have learned the competencies. So there is always the company point of view involved in the grading of the students.
Okay.
But then our students do have the possibility of mixing these two. So it can happen that a student starts here at the college as a regular student, does part of the training here at the college, then goes to work placement period, learns new skills, and then ends up being an apprentice at the company. And then a different kind of contract is done for the student. That might last for a year, and then they might come back to the college for a new normal student, as being a normal student. So we should have a individualized, personalized study plan for each of the students. There are students that are 3 days at the work placement, 2 days at the college. And
Right.
there can be students that are 5 days at the college and do a minimum amount of learning hours at the college, at the work placements.
It's estimated that 4 out of 10 prisoners in the U.S. are special needs, special ed. They've not received any training at all. How about here? Do you ever, for low-level vocational type of things, food service, do you have, for the special needs kids, will they go to a vocational school, or, you know, if they're a little bit higher functioning to get a skill? Do you know any?
We do have, well, one thing which might be surprising is that in Finland there is only one level of vocational qualifications. They all last for 3 years.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
So all of the vocational qualifications last for 3 years. There are no low-level vocational qualifications in the Finnish system.
Okay.
So then we do have special vocational institutes for, let's say, students with some disabilities, like big disabilities.
So they can teach them something, maybe they can work.
They can work somewhere, but then they don't, the qualifications are different, but they can be then helping in some way. They can be assistants in maybe for the postman or.
Have you been to any of these schools that you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. Or
And
they
they're-
might be blind.
Right.
Or.
But they're trying to teach them to be productive citizens.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's the goal.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But we do, quite a lot of our students do have learning difficulties. So
Here.
here as well. So we do have the support measures, or we do try to find them the support they need. So we do have special ed teachers that can be for the general subjects, or they can be vocational special ed teachers that help to carry out the duties regarding their vocational skills. Then we do have psychiatrists and all sorts of personnel to support these students.
Right. Good.
But yeah, so that's the level we are mainly working on.
And the matriculation examination, that is far to go to a university. Is that right?
Yeah, both ways. You can go to the university, but this is the normal path. So if you follow the matriculation examination, you don't have it's hard to find a job with only a matriculation examination because you just know
You don't have a
general
skill.
things. Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of your 2 first years of college in a way. So the things they learn over there.
But the kids or adults in the vocational school, they're not taking the matriculation examination.
There are students that do both. but not normally. It's
Okay.
not compulsory to apply to the university and have the matriculation examination.
Okay, so I noticed from the vocational qualifications, you said there's a small percentage here, about 10% that
Yeah.
go on and get a bachelor's degree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or masters.
Masters. But most of them will just get the qualification here and go to work.
Yeah.